The discomfort of an apparently strained relationship between a husband and wife has ended in tragedy. Jason Emmanuel murdering his wife before turning the weapon on himself in an act of suicide. The bloody scene inside the couple's bedroom was discovered by a concerned father, who was simply checking on the well-being of 46-year-old Ermelinda Pinks several hours after she had failed to return phone calls and text messages left by her worried siblings. Despite losing contact with her on Saturday morning, family members were not prepared for what they happened upon later that day at Linda and Jason's Rose Lane apartment.
Saturday, when I started to, found out that something was starting to going wrong, my other sister, she called me and asked me if I saw her around her, saw her and her husband in the city or anything. I said no. They noticed that she didn't call during the normal time that she would call, because it's something that on Saturday, when it comes around lunchtime, they would contact one another and find out what will be for lunch for the day. Now with that time passing, she didn't text, didn't call. Well, then they started to wonder, why she's not calling, not answering her phone.
Unbeknownst to them, their eldest sister had been shot and killed several hours earlier while seemingly asleep in bed.
I know that from the scene, the blood that was on the scene indicates to us that it had happened at least maybe 12 hours before the body was found.
When she did not respond, they turned their attention to Jason. The well-known tax collector wasn't picking up his phone either.
So they continued to call, continued to text, didn't get no reply. Called her husband's phone, didn't get any reply either. So I guess when they really started to feel a way about she not answering, not getting in contact, that's when they went to the house and walked around, called her name until they pried the window open and saw what was the scene in the bedroom.
Outside of the lower flat of the two-story building, a sanguinary mattress is propped against the veranda. On the evening of the discovery, Emmanuel's lifeless body was found on the ground not far from where his wife lay dead. He had shot himself once to the right side of the head.
They observed the motionless body of a female person lying face up on a bed, and also the motionless body of a male person lying on the floor face up. The female was identified as that of Ermelinda Pinks Emmanuel, and the male person was identified as Jason Emmanuel. Both of them had apparent gunshot wound to the right, one Ms. Pinks to the left side of the temple and Mr. Emmanuel to the right side of the temple. Police processed the scene there where they recovered a firearm beside Mr. Emmanuel's body, and likewise they found 2 expanded shells and several ammunition on the bed and inside of the magazine.
Since tying the knot on April 17, 2010, the couple has had a stormy marriage. That tumultuous relationship, according to another brother, resulted in domestic violence and separation. In an inboxed message to News 5 following the tragic incident, a grieving brother is quoted as saying, "Their relationship began to come apart when she suspected he was not being faithful. He denied it and said he wasn't, but it was clear to her." Can you share with us, to the best of your knowledge, the kind of relationship your sister had with Jason Emmanuel?
Well, when it comes to her, she was all in. She was a dedicated person. That's the type of woman she is. She puts herself to something, that's what she's gonna do. She wasn't the type to be all over the place or anything like that. She has a family. She's with her family. She's dedicated to her family.
Were there, to your knowledge, any tough times between the two of them? Anything that would have led to this kind of a tragedy happening?
Well, in every relationship, there will be times that, an argument may happen or something like that. But we, as a family, didn't see any physical abuse. She never comes around with any marks or scratches or any bruises like that. So as far as I know, it can be verbal abuse or something like that.
Investigators say that there are no reports of physical abuse filed at the domestic violence unit involving the pair. This notwithstanding the rocky union they shared.
Both parties of the family have declined to say if they knew if the couple was going or they were having any domestic dispute or within their relationship. We can confirm that based on our records at the domestic office, there is no report filed by any of the deceased at this moment.
In the wee early hours of Saturday, Emmanuel was reportedly driving to Belize City when he suffered a blowout on the Philip Goldson Highway. His Mitsubishi Endeavour was subsequently towed to the Raccoon Street precinct, long after the incident had transpired. Prior to learning of this, the family, while looking for Linda, presumed that she may have been out with her husband since his vehicle was not parked at their home.
Normally, they would have times that they would get together and go out, but she would never go anywhere without letting anyone from the family know, because that's the way things get done. We communicate with one another. We let everyone know what's our whereabouts and what's not, so that there's no concern just in case anything happens.
That degree of accountability to each other, though admirable, is what immediately raised concerns when Linda failed to get in touch with her loved ones. The issues plaguing her marriage with Jason, though rife with conjecture in the wake of their demise, were known to the family, though little could have been done to change the course of what transpired on Saturday. Reporting for News 5, I am Isani Cayetano.